Okay, onefinity, here I am with another video. I have had trouble with your optical sensors. Here's one of the original ones. I'm putting a card in between the beam. As you can see, no results on the screen. The X one I've replaced once already. Put a card between the beam. It worked a minute ago. It doesn't work now. All right, here is the B sensor. Okay, I'm putting a card in here. As you can see, I get the proper result. I will swap the B sensor with some of the others. Hold on, I'm all alone here. Okay, I'm putting first the B sensor into where the X sensor goes. All right, now the B sensor is plugged in the X sensor port. I break the beam. And I get no results. Did this a little while ago when it worked. All right, now that doesn't work. Okay, now with the C sensor doesn't work either, right? See that? C sensor doesn't work. I'm plugging the C sensor. Putting the B sensor into the C sensor input. Okay, now I got the B plugged into the C. I break the beam, and I'm getting a low and a high on the Y. So that one works. Now I don't know why the X sensor doesn't work. Even when I put in the good one, it doesn't work. Try it again. X sensor is plugged in, or the B sensor, the working sensor is plugged into the X wire. I'm putting a card in between here. What just happened? Now I'm getting a result. But it's lighting up the Y and the X. Why is that? X sensor, card in, Y and X is lighting up. Now I try the Y sensor by itself. Oh, I didn't plug it back in. That's probably why it was doing that. Didn't realize I needed to be a mechanic to afford to work on one of your machines. Okay, I plugged the Y sensor back in. Still not working. The B sensor is plugged in the X. Now it no longer works. I don't understand. Something is amiss. Something in the wiring, apparently, because it used to be when I moved the working sensor around, I could get it to work. Now I can't. If I unplug the Y sensor, the X sensor works for two of them, or whatever. So I'll unplug the Y again. All right. Now I'm putting a card in the X sensor. Look, I get a reading. See? Reading on that. Now if I plug in the Y sensor, okay, the Y sensor is plugged back in. It still doesn't work on its own. And now no longer does the X sensor work either. So, I bet you the Z sensor still works. Yep, Z works. So, with that being said and all the puzzle parts, even if I move the working sensor around, I don't know. Let me try one more thing. I'll take the working sensor and plug it into Y. Okay, now I've got the working sensor plugged into Y. The card. And now I get an X and a Y reading with the working sensor on Y. But I don't have the B plugged into anything. And let's see. Do I have an extra sensor laying around? Hold on, maybe I do. Where is the other sensors? Here we go. Okay, now I'm plugging one of the original replacement sensors into the B axis. Come on, stay put, will you? All right, now I've got it plugged into B. I break the beam on B. I am getting a light. Break the beam, it goes out. But nothing there. I break the beam on Y, and still X and Y are both activated. And if I plug the original Y sensor back in and the good one into X, I get no reaction at all. We'll try that again. Okay, I got the Y sensor plugged back in. Got the card doing the thing. Nothing showing up. Card in, nothing showing up. Do the X sensor. Well, it's not plugged in. Like I put the B in the X sensor slot. And it gets no reading at all. Now if I move B back to B, all right, I've reinstalled the B sensor into the B slot, break the beam, and I am getting a result for the B. So somewhere I've got an XY jumble. Tell me what I need to do. You can send me a couple of sensors. I don't know if they all have to be plugged in at the same time to work. I'll try that. All right, at this point, all sensors, working or non-working, are plugged in. I'll try Y. No indication. I'll try X. No indication. I'll try B. And I get an indication. And I try Z. Hard to get to. Get in there. And obviously I get an indication on B or Z. So with these three puzzle parts, please feel free to contact me and send me, I guess, a case of these sensors because they seem to go bad faster than I can replace them.